Welcome back. I am your host. I am attorney Stephen Leahy. And this is the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560, The Answer. I'm here with Jim and Deborah, and we're hoping you're celebrating a Memorial Day. Don't forget what it's about. It's not always about picnics and things like that. But since I mentioned the picnic, I want to mention Joe Walsh's picnic on June 10th. And why am I mentioning it? Because the IRS Radio Hour is going to have a hot dog stand there. And you can have Chicago hot dogs, the best Chicago hot dogs.
They really are.
The best
Chicago hot dogs you'll
ever have. I'm going to give 200 hot dogs away at the Joe Walsh event. So I wanted to mention that. We'll mention maybe in the next segment if I remember.
You picked up a bag of dogs?
Get you
yeah, baby.
But let's just do our.
Let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where Attorney Leahy answers the questions submitted by you, the viewer, or clients, or people, or
wherever I get it from.
My grandmother.
Yeah, oftentimes someone that calls or something that happens. But here's something. I mean, I have a client now who's got a tax lien against her.
Well, before we even go into this, is there, like, if I'm a regular listener and I want to ask a question, how can I contact you?
You should call me and tell Bonnie that you're a regular listener of the show, and she'll put you in contact with me. You don't even have to come in the office. And I always talk, because I tell people all the time, when you're having a problem and you have a question, to call me. So if you called me and then I wouldn't take your call, that wouldn't be fair.
You wouldn't be a very good lawyer.
Right? No. So call me at 312-664-6649. Bonnie answers the phone. Tell Bonnie that you're a listener and you have a question, and she might ask you what the question is, but she'll put you in touch with me and set us up for a telephone consultation, and I'll answer your question. So that's a very good question.
That's a guarantee right there.
Very good point, Jim. Thanks for bringing that up. And so here's the question that I get. Does a tax lien, IRS tax lien, prevent a bank, mortgage company, or other lender from lending you money to buy a house, a motor vehicle, or other consumer goods or property? Because I get this a lot, even like a lot of the mortgage people. Oh, you'll never get a loan with a tax lien. And in a sense, they're correct. Because one of the things that happens with the tax lien is that your credit score falls, right? And you won't be able to get a tax lien. For instance, I talk with my friend David Hochberg a lot about this refinancing, and you'll never get a refinance with a tax lien. However, if you're buying a new home and you're using what it's called a purchase money mortgage, or you're buying a new car,
PMM for short.
That's absolutely true. Or you're buying a new vehicle, and and that's called the purchase money security interest. And what this is if the money you're using,
PMSI.
That's correct. If you're using this money that you're borrowing to buy this specific product or home, then that money, even though there's a tax lien against you, that lender gets priority to those items. Okay, so even though you had and usually a lien is first in time and first in right. So if there is a tax lien and then you bought a home, then the IRS still has a claim on it. However, that mortgage company who loaned you the money to buy it, their claim comes even before the IRS. Now, that's something that's misunderstood by so many people. So even though you have a tax lien, you still may be able to get an FHA loan, for instance. They'll still loan you the money. And a lot of people, well, don't I need a subordination? The answer is no, you don't need, because because that purchase money mortgage or purchase money security interest takes priority over the existing tax lien, IRS tax lien. And again, that's important because
this is valuable information to have.
Because and whenever you go out and you try, well, can I buy it? No, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can do it. It's very difficult. Now, a lender might not. There might have some internal regulations that say we won't loan to people with tax liens. Well, that's different. That doesn't mean they can't do it. That just means they won't do it. But there's nothing preventing them in the sense that they won't have a priority lien against you. Now, as I mentioned, earlier. What if I could try to refinance? Well, refinancing is not a purchase money mortgage because you already own the property and you're using a new loan to repay an old loan. Well, in that instance, the IRS would have a prior lien, and they would have priority over the new lender, and so that's why generally in a refi, almost impossible if you have a tax lien to go for it. Now, one thing you have to do, even if you have this, all lenders are going to ask you, are you in a payment plan? Are you taking care of your IRS problem? So you can't have it out there, I have a tax lien, I owe the IRS money, but I don't have any plan to pay them back. You have to come up with an installment agreement, start paying the IRS back, and then they'll let you.
Okay,
then you
question real quick.
Okay,
with the installment agreement, do I have to reach a certain amount of months in my installment agreement, or can I just right off the bat?
That's a very good question. Generally, it's 3 months to 12 months. So anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That is right.
That's
Thank
a very
you,
good
Mr.
question, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question and you're listening to the show, call Open Tax Resolution 312-664-6649. You're going to get in contact with Bonnie, and she's going to put you right forward to attorney Stephen Leahy to set up a free consultation, and he will answer your question. So remember, 312-664-6649, or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. That's going to be your hub to help fight the IRS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're going to wrap this show up Memorial Day style here on AM 560.
The Answer.